make a move on the outside, but right now, at least it is Carl Edwards.
Stewart trying the crossover, wrestling that car into turn 3, and Kurt Busch looking for an opening.
Wasn't he just complaining about his car? That didn't drive very good. He's wheeling it around here. Speaking of Kurt Busch, though, up in third right now.
And his brother Kyle right there as well. Remember, Kyle started in 42nd place.
But Kurt's going to be complaining again up there in that speedy dry.
Kenseth continuing to slide, Vince.
Well, and it's a brake issue. We've heard radio from Matt throughout the course of the day talking about the brakes. Says he's got to pump the brake pedal 8 to 10 times, hoping that it will actually grab entering the turn. Boy, can you imagine the tension there as he goes into that turn and hopes that it sticks and holds?
Yeah, not fun.
No, and you basically can't drive a race car like that. And sometimes just what he said, hoping it's going to grab, and you don't know where that's going to happen. We've seen a number of times him get really loose right as he got to the center of the corner.
Whoa, contact there. Brian Vickers pushing Matt Kenseth. Martinsville payback issued at Phoenix.
It sure was.
83.
That's all that was.
131 laps to go. Edwards leading Stewart.
Still there. He's still out their corner. Still out their door now. Still there. Still there. Still there. One back to the 22. Clear. Clear by 2.
Kyle Busch slowing down. Jamie?
Alan, you just talked about the story. They blew an engine. This is a JGR motor. They blew an engine on Friday. Kyle Busch fought his way all the way to third and just now said, I'm blowing up. I'm blowing up. The team is...
Tony Stewart's led the most laps in 3 of the last 4 races. He's pretty much done that here again today, so gathering up those bonus points, that's the way you get it done.
Get ready for this weekend. Tony Stewart said, I'm going out to win these last 2 races. There's nothing you're going to do differently than you did before. Just race to win and see how it happens.
Matt, are you concerned at all or any doubt in your mind that that was in retaliation for Martinsville?
No, not at all. I mean, that's the really disappointing part, I guess, to me is, you know, you're going to have those things in racing, and, you know, when you get into people and they get back into it, and that's all part of it, and I understand all that, but it's a little disappointing to me that NASCAR doesn't step in, so when he's been telling everybody that, listen, for 4 weeks, that he's going to wipe us out as soon as he got a chance, and then he does it. I mean, it doesn't get any more premeditated than that. You know, if you walk around and tell somebody you're going to kill him for 4 weeks and then do it, you know, it's pretty premeditated. So if you're going to penalize somebody, I think, for doing something in the heat of the moment 5 minutes after, like Kyle last week, I don't see how this would be different. But anyway, it's disappointing. I kind of expected it. It's too bad. We lost our brakes. Usually the only time you can keep up is if we're lapping them or we had no brakes like that instance. So it's just unfortunate, but we'll just move on, keep working on it, and you know, hope to have a better week next week.
Jamie Little.
And Kyle Busch is out of the hauler now. They're finished for the day. Kyle, your crew chief, Dave Rogers, told me it was human error why you guys blew up on Friday. Any indication what it was this time?
No indication this time. Just catastrophic failure. Just really unfortunate too. I mean, these guys worked their butts off, you know, 2 weeks in a row, all season long, and it's just devastating, you know. But when you go through turmoil like this, all you can do is group together and pull through it and try to persevere and move on, you know. So we've got one more chance, one more opportunity next week to win a race before the year's out, to end it on a high note, and you know, look forward to next year with everything going on. But can't say enough about all these guys on this Interstate Batteries team this weekend too. You know, just changing the engine, starting behind, coming through, not worried about qualifying, and just getting in the show all the way up to third. You know, we had a shot. We were there, and just unfortunate that we weren't able to finish the race today.
As you saw in NASCAR nonstop, caution out, Robbie Gordon into the wall. Leaders on pit road, Doc.
Different pit crew with 4 tires going to go on the 43 car. The UPS crew now pitting Allmendinger, 4 tires, no changes. Philadelphia Sunoco fuel. Jamie.
22 at Kurt Busch, right sides. They made a chassis adjustment saying loose on throttle in the beginning. Then he gets too tight, Dave.
Leader Tony Stewart just a little tight. Air out of the right front tire is the only adjustment. 4 tires. Vince.
Crew Chief Bob Osborne asked Carl Edwards to keep the wheels straighter entering the box. Carl was perfect on that entry. No changes, 4 tires for Carl Edwards in the race off pit road.
And a little strategy played by some crews there.
A couple of cars there out first. Kurt Busch, Paul Menard taking 2 tires.
Edwards and Tony Stewart behind Kurt Busch and Paul Menard, who changed just 2 tires on that pit stop.
That was probably the worst restart that Tony Stewart's had all day.
And Edwards clears him into 3rd. Kurt Busch's team changed left side tires. Paul Menard's team changed right side tires. Championship leader Carl Edwards hunting the #1 spot in today's race at Phoenix from Kurt Busch with 34 laps to go. Carl Edwards goes to the lead as Kurt Busch goes to pit road, hearing he is out of gas in that.
The Ford Kasey Kahne was 6th here in February. Another good run here today. A half pound out of the right rear and a round down in the right rear. He says he just needs a little bit more grip, right sides only.
Edwards about to put Brad Keselowski a lap down. Brad lost a pile of time on pit road on his last stop. Went in 6th, came out 15th.
He's been that. He just fought the handling of this car quite a bit. You see he's fighting hard right now to try to stay on the lead lap.
Here's Carl Edwards. 21 laps to go. The leader comes to pit road. What will they do? How long will it take them? And how will the exchange play out between he and Kasey Kahne? Here he comes, Vince.
Crew Chief Bob Osborne remind Carl Edwards 3 times, do not speed. It's going to be right side only. And again, Edwards perfectly into the box, wheels straight, as Osborne had asked him to do 2 stops before. A smooth stop so far for the 99 crew. They give him enough fuel, and off goes Carl Edwards.
Tony Stewart, now the leader. Not yet having pitted. Ryan Newman, one of the last to come in for a pit stop. And gone. That's Edwards trying to unlap himself on Tony Stewart there. You heard Stewart being called to his pit box. And this swing of pit stops is really going to favor Kasey Kahne when it's all done.
I'm not sure if Carl just was very conservative on that pit road speed, or whether getting hung behind Brad Keselowski cost him that much time.
Yeah, well, he lost about it.
Fuel only. He's 5 gallons. The one in around in left rear.
Fuel only here for the 14 to Tony Stewart.
Dave, here he is.
Originally, they were going to take left side tires as they did on the first pit stop of the day, and then led that pile of laps. But you heard the call, just fuel to get him to the end. He skids to a stop, but does not go through his pit box. It's a good thing, just a little wedge adjustment to tighten him up on that entry. That had been his handling problem.
So Stewart and Mark Martin coming off the pit lane from their final stops. There goes Edwards. And Tony rejoins. Brad Keselowski, the only one who has not made the pit stop yet in the final cycle. And there it is. So Kasey Kahne takes the lead as Brad Keselowski makes the move to pit road. Carl Edwards has gained a 2nd on Kasey Kahne in these last few laps, while the 4 was caught in some of that traffic. Edwards not able to cut into the gap anymore those first few laps after the exchange of pit stops. When he knocked the 2nd off, it settled right there at that 1 second. Edwards trying to catch Kasey Kahne for the win. Tony Stewart getting under Jeff Burton for 1 point toward the championship on the final lap of the race.
Now, Burton had been slipping a little bit. Looked like he's having a hard time with his car right in the center. Tony taking advantage of that adjustment they made to get that spot.
Edwards and Stewart Going to go to the season finale. Oh, so close in the championship. Today, though, at Phoenix, it's about Kasey Kahne and Red Bull Racing scoring the win, breaking a long dry spell. Kasey Kahne wins the Kobalt Tools 500. Carl Edwards finishes second. Tony Stewart finishes third. They go to the finale separated by 3 points, 3 running positions on the racetrack. There's Jay Fry.
Way to go. Thank you. Way to go, guys.
Kasey Kahne celebrating his first win in over 2 years, ending a career-long winless streak. Been a drought, but boy, how good does it feel to be back in victory lane, Kenny?
It feels so good. It's been a long time coming. This whole Red Bull team's done an unbelievable job to keep working so hard. Kenny Francis, Keith Rodden, everybody at Red Bull, the car, the Toyota engine. I mean, it was a great run today. The guys did an awesome job. We fell back a little bit early, and then came back and just kept getting it better. So these guys haven't given up in the last I don't know, 3 months. So it's been really cool. I want to thank Sprint. All the fans were coming out. The track was really cool. It was slippery early, but as the tires built heat and we got rubber on the track, the Goodyear tires came in pretty good, and it ended up being a great race. I'm really excited.
You guys have had so much success here down the stretch. What's been the key to the resurgence of this team?
Well, I think just not giving up. You know, I think the one big thing is working with Kenny Francis. I mean, that guy, as hard as he works, I want to work as hard, and I want to do as much as I can to be up front. I know Keith's the same way, and all these Red Bull guys are behind him. So it's been really exciting to do that. You know, I want to also say this for my grandma. We lost my great-grandpa last week, and this is for her and my mom. So it feels good to win for sure. He was a huge fan, huge supporter.
Congratulations.
Kevin Harvick on down, eliminated for the championship. 2 men, 1 race, head-to-head on the track. Jamie?
And what a race it was today. Nose to tail, side by side with Tony Stewart. Tell me what you said about Tony when you got out of the car.
He's a pretty good driver. that was a lot of fun. That's what we need to come here and do. Run well, finish in front of that 14. You know, still have the points lead going into Homestead. It's just a huge day, you know, for Aflac, Ford, Subway, Scott's, Kellogg's, all these fans, sold out place, and now we keep it interesting for Homestead. So I'm just so proud of my guys. They did a great job on pit road. Bob did a really good job with the strategy, and I'm as happy as I can be for Kasey, you know, to get beat by someone. He's a good guy, and he races clean, and I know it's a real special one for him. So now we go to Ford Championship weekend. Couldn't be better. I'm excited. It's going to be a battle.
Let's talk about Homestead. You've won 2 of the last 3 races there. I know you're sitting here trying to crunch the numbers. How many laps? You just need to beat them, basically. How good do you think your chances are over the 14 there?
I think they're good, but I truly believe it's going to be a good race. You know, they ran so well at Vegas. They ran well at Texas. They're going to be on their game. But, you know, that place is magical for us, and I really enjoy going there. I love racing there. And, you know, at the end of the day, I hope it's a good, hard race, and I hope it comes down to the fastest car winning this championship. That would be cool.
A lot of fun to watch. Couldn't be 2 more opposite guys going for the championship here.
And how about Ford versus Chevy and Edwards versus Stewart? How good is that? Doesn't get any better than that. Now, Tony, it looked like for much of the day you had the car to beat. You led 160 laps, and then with the 2 stops prior to the end, I heard Darian apologize for an adjustment that seemed to cost you. What happened?
Well, he shouldn't apologize for it. I mean, we just made another air pressure change in it, and we finally got too far on it. So we had an awesome Mobile One Office Depot Chevy today, and the Arctic Home program with Coca-Cola, we were proud of that, and Sprint and everybody, just an awesome day. We're still where we need to be. We just did almost everything we needed to do. We led the most laps, and just came up 2 spots shy, but just was a little bit too loose on entry the last 2 runs there, and thought Darian made a really good call there with just gas only at the end, and able to run Jeff down there and you know, get back to 3rd there. So we're keeping him honest.
Now, we talk about that final pass. So with 9 laps to go, you climb up on the steering wheel and you run Jeff Burton down and make the pass. How important was that?
Well, we'll see next week. I mean, it could come down to that. So you know, every point counts right now, and you know, that's why we raced Carl so hard and Kasey so hard, was to make sure that we led enough laps to lead the most laps today. So you know, we're going for every single point we can get right now.
Tony, 3 points, 2 men, 1 race, and 1 championship. How do you win it at Homestead next week?
Just keep doing what we're doing. I mean, we got a 3rd and 2 wins in the last 3 races, so we're going to keep the pressure on him, and we're going to make him sweat it out.